I want to say at least half of the people around us suffer from anxiety. That would include me. I used to suffer from anxiety day in, day out, and most of us don't even know that we're going through anxiety. We just think we're stressed out. However, you got to ask yourself first of all, if again, if you're sitting here listening to me, you more than likely are going through the shitstorm of anxiety. Um, it robs you. It robs you of your time, and after a while, you're not even yourself anymore. And you know you're suffering from anxiety when you have scenarios constantly playing in your head over and over and over, and most of them don't even end, and it's always the same shit but a different variation. So what can you do about it? And that's what I want to share with you, because I did something about it and pretty much wiped it off the map. And these days, if I see the specter of anxiety, I swat that shit like a fly. So I suffered from anxiety for years. Years. It affected my health. It affected my state of mind. And, it progresses. Those effects progress through time. And after a while, it'll take your self-esteem. It'll take your identity. And not only will it affect you, your health, your diet, it'll affect those around you too. And you start to develop fears. And that's usually where the anxiety starts from fears. And I think the fears in your mind are actually worse than whatever thought you may have in your head of what can happen. You literally scare yourself to death with all of these probabilities in your mind, and it's bullshit. It really is. So I did one thing and one thing only that started to change how I dealt with anxiety. God damn, it's bright. So I started meditating, and I'm going to bring this up in just about any clip that I record. It's going to talk about meditation. And meditation is the gateway. However, anxiety is also a gateway too. Anxiety can lead you to depression. Depression can lead you to drug abuse. You can lose everything around you due to that. So how we go about dealing with these things, because, think about how you've dealt with your anxieties thus far. Most of us probably haven't even fucking dealt with it, period. We just live with it. And after a while, that leaches into the rest of your life. You just start living with whatever comes your way. You no longer will have a life. You no longer will have a sense of security. You'll have no self-esteem. So meditation. Why meditate in order to resolve anxiety? Because meditation will open your higher mind and reintroduce you, reintegrate you to your higher self. The higher self has the ability to discern, has the ability to create, conceive, and it can also see and reveal to you your future. It's not a fortune teller, but it is a guide. It's an immaculate, intelligent guide. Throughout the last couple of weeks, I've been going kind of through this lull, and it's what I call the silence. where I go into meditation and I don't feel the sense of connection that I normally do. I don't hear messages. I don't feel like I'm receiving messages. And it became pretty frustrating. And I thought to myself, you know, Renee, 2 years ago or just a year ago, you would have tossed in the fucking towel and walked away, you know? And I don't feel that sense anymore. I actually live my life differently. One of my mottos is chaos is but a door to opportunity. I look at things differently. I try to find what positive result will I get from whatever is happening in my immediate environment. And it works. You know, for a long time I had this thought in my head that, you know, if you push positive thoughts in your head, you're kind of basically lying to yourself, because, you know, it's kind of like just getting up in the morning and saying, "Oh, the world is beautiful. Oh, look at the blue sky. It's so wonderful." When you suffer from anxiety, you really can't do that. And for people who right off the get-go tell others, be grateful. Be grateful for that blue sky that I mentioned. Be grateful for the air that you breathe. First thing when you get up in the morning, be grateful for your life. You can't fucking do that when you are a person who suffers from anxiety, and that's what the other half doesn't fucking understand. When you suffer from anxiety, and I say this to those who don't live with it, your mind is under attack the minute that you wake up in the morning. Your mind isn't yours to control. And that's what the general public who doesn't suffer from anxiety needs to get through their thick skull. People who are living with anxiety don't have that liberty of getting up in the morning bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and saying, "Oh my God, what a beautiful day." No, they wake up in a stupor, and there is no coherent set of thoughts that line up in their head. They are bombarded with random thoughts of their anxiety movie from the day before. Real play is what I call it. It's the reel playing over and over and over in your head. How do you deal with this? So you start meditating. And you know, you may say, how does a person who has no control over their mind start to meditate? You sit your ass down. You inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. You close your eyes and you call on to your higher self. When you begin to meditate, I guarantee you, you're going to hear the noise. Those same thoughts that you were thinking that have you at wit's end, they're going to follow you into that meditation session. You refocus. However, it's really important for my people who suffer from anxiety, because you're going to do this for 5 minutes, you know, max 10 minutes. There's going to come a time where your spirit is going to ask you for more time. Those thoughts that follow you in there, you need to write these thoughts down. There are certain thoughts that are going to come in with you. Some of them are just random bullshit, but there are certain ones that are going to have a pattern. You need to write these things down. And you need to ask yourself, where did this set of thoughts come from? And it could be 5 different sets of thoughts, but they all may lead to the same thing. And I'll give you an example of thoughts that I had that could have come in any type of variation, but they all led to the same thing. They all led to thoughts of abandonment. They all led to thoughts of being alone. Some people may have thoughts that all lead to lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem. Usually they fall under those categories: lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, fear of being abandoned, not being enough, not being validated. Fuck being validated. The only person who needs to validate you is you. So, the beauty of meditating is after a while, once you start identifying these thoughts, you've gotten them out, you've written them down. There is some magical thing about writing things down that has an effect on the human psyche. It's affected me 100%. And this is why I say, go into your meditation session, refocus. However, if you have thoughts that are recurring, you write these down. And then you get to the root of them. Because not feeling worthy is not the root. That is the tree and the branches that are manifesting themselves. There are roots to those feelings. There are roots to that lack of self-worth. Something happened in your past, or maybe in your present, that has provoked such a strong sense of lack of self-worth. And these are the things that you need to start identifying. And those will be dealt with as well. And I can't go into that because we'll be here for a while, and I might just talk your ears off and you just change the channel. So back to meditation and anxiety and writing things down. By identifying those thoughts, you have laid them down on the table, and you can bring them into your meditation session. It will work in a circle. It will work in a cycle. Slowly but surely, you're going to find more peace within your sessions. And once you get out of those meditation sessions, the whole point is to awaken your higher mind, to raise your vibration, as people say, your frequency. Feeling of shame is a low frequency emotion. Feeling of joy is pretty much one of the highest that you can have. So just bear in mind, that's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking to eliminate, and that's what you're looking to obtain. Remove shame and obtain joy. So as you continue meditating, your spirit will ask you for more time. You're going to want to spend more time in there. You're going to find a way to do this. You ask yourself, how am I going to find a way to sit in silence? You found a way to go to work, deal with people around you and their bullshit, and play movies in your head on end. So if you can do those things, multitasking, torturing yourself, you can find somewhere to go meditate. Okay, whether it be in your office, your car, a room, fucking bathroom stall, I don't care. You'll figure out a way to do it if you see that something in your life is having a positive effect. Okay? You're meditating. You're writing things down. And now you got to start feeding yourself. And all these things are going to be directed by your higher mind. You feed yourself with podcasts, documentaries, literature. I'm not the only person who's talking about this, guys. And there's people out there in the field that are talking about this even more in depth. The only reason I'm talking about it is because I really want to get to the crux of the suffering between point A to point B. A lot of people tend to talk about the higher frequency and manifestations and whatnot. But if you're not talking about or relating to other people in their suffering, they may not understand. They won't understand. They're knee deep in their suffering. They're going to work every day. They're in a toxic work environment. They have an asshole boss who thinks he's the greatest shit in the world, but he really isn't anything. He's just a tiny little person inside of a building. Outside of those walls, they ain't shit. They have friends whose opinions, their social media posts make you sick. Don't look at them. Don't look at them. Surrounded by toxic people. God knows what you got going on at home. Here's the beautiful thing about toxic people, because I've been a witness to this. When you start meditating and your higher mind starts to awaken, and your aura begins to light up, that shit repels toxic people. It's not a point of you having to say, oh no, I need to avoid this person. They'll avoid you. Moreover, the higher mind will give you the calm, the patience, the ability. Ooh, listen to those sirens. The higher mind will give you the ability and words to deal with that slowly but surely. So the whole point of this is to make you a pillar. It's to make you strong. And I'm going to be dead serious about this, what I'm about to share with you. Anything that has value, you have to work for it. It doesn't come easy. Some things do, but not all of them. Anything with value takes effort. And if the fear of the unknown is greater than the fear of having to live with your anxiety day in, day out, and not watching your life expand, well, so be it. You might as well just cut off right now and go back to your social media. Anything worthwhile takes effort, guys. Question is how much longer are you willing to suffer? Are you going to continue this cycle and wait another 4 years? I mean, that's kind of like what I did. I became complacent, and unfortunately, most of us don't react until everything has come crashing down around them. And that's what happened to me. And I was truly surprised when it happened at how quickly my spirit was able to get itself together, get its act together. How my life was able to come back to life after so many years of absolute nothingness. So if you find yourself in an extremely hard place right now where you are constantly suffering, my friends, pain, hurt, suffering, abandonment, you have no idea. Those are the best vehicles for change. Because you got nothing to lose. So you're ready to go base jumping. So now's the time. Now's the time. The 5 golden rules which I live by. Here we go. Meditate. Okay? You journal. You write things down. You have to write things down. This shit's magic. It's fucking magic. Do it. Number 3. You have to feed yourself. I told you how to feed yourself. And shame on you if you've got no way to feed yourself. There is no shortage of information where we live in our society. Podcasts, documentaries, literature. You can find it anywhere. It's there. Number 4, shut your mouth. Keep your fucking trap shut. Don't share this shit with nobody. You don't walk around in the street showing everybody that you got a Louis Vuitton bag stashed with cash to the brim. You wouldn't do that. It's no different. What you are growing, what you are cultivating is valuable. It's valuable. And haters will hate because you're basically making yourself better. And even people who are blind as fuck spiritually, they can sense that shit, even if they don't know what it is. And it doesn't take much for a family member to say 2 or 3 words and make your whole world come crashing down. So just keep your mouth shut. You're a seed that's germinating in this process. It doesn't take much to damage that seed. Keep it shut. Don't share these things with anybody until you've learned to really truly stand on yourself, where you have proven to yourself, hey, this works. If I have a bad day, I'm going to be all right, because I'm going to figure out a way to get some shit out of that negative experience. I'm going to get something out of it. That's how I work. And I get it. I do get it. Something negative happens around me, I get something out of it that will benefit me. And that's how this whole shebang works. That was number 4. Number 5, really important. Rule number 5. Don't be discouraged when the silence arrives. There will be a period, especially at the beginning, where you are going to be bombarded with information, possibly blessings. Your life is going to change on the interior. You're basically being introduced to something new, reintroduced, because your spirit has never forgotten this. You just forgot it, but the real you never forgot it. And that's what your higher mind is going to expose to you. So you're going to have this period of rapid growth for most of us. But there's going to come a time where there's going to be a lull. And this happens in life, guys. Okay? Use your common sense. The tide comes in and it comes out. The sun rises and it drops. The clouds get dark, it rains, and then the sun comes out again. That's the cycle. Everything in our world works in those cycles. So there will be silence. Moments where you think, I'm not having any breakthrough. When that is happening, believe it. Worlds are being shifted beneath, between, and behind you. So just keep your calm and simply tell yourself, my spirit is reintegrating into a new reality. There are changes happening that I can't see and I can't understand, but I accept them. This has happened to me. I've had things happen to me in a matter of days. I just couldn't understand how was it possible. One of the things that happened to me was my diet changed overnight. I lived for carbohydrates. I had no discipline when it came to a diet my entire life. My blood was made of sugar. And I could eat pizza every day if I had to. Overnight. I basically started taking care of my body overnight. And I had tried to do that many times before. And all I needed to do is let 3 or 4 days pass by and I'd see a pizza float by. Forget it. It was done. So things will start happening to you. And they'll happen differently to different people. Not everyone is the same. What works for one person isn't going to work for the other. That's just the way that this world works, guys. Okay? You need to get this thing out of your head of instant gratification. Anything that's an instant gratification is fucking worthless. Remember that. That's the world in which we live in today. You got a headache, you take a pill. You're hungry, some dude will deliver that shit to your door. Pretty soon, someone will show up to your doorstep and wipe your ass after you take a shit. Anything that's valuable, worth something in this world takes effort. And your enlightenment is going to take effort. But I'm a firm believer that you can't remove something and not replace. Nothing exists in a void. And I'm not going to ask you, oh, you need to give this and that and that and that up. No, you keep doing exactly what you're doing. What you want to do is replace things that don't make you happy with something. You got to replace it with something. Right now, we're replacing your anxiety with your ability to have confidence, with your ability to be in touch with your higher mind, with your ability to sharpen your intuition. That's what you're replacing that anxiety with. That loss of time, that loss of your life. You're replacing it with the ability to have such a strong and powerful aura that fucking doors just open up in front of you. I'm a witness to this. So, no, this isn't a cult where you drink Kool-Aid and give everything up. No, you change things. You're making them better. You got to replace it with something, okay? You can't just throw everything away and leave it in a void. Because I've seen that. I've been there. At some point, I think I'm going to do a more comprehensive, something a little more organized regarding anxiety. Because this is a subject that we can talk about several times. And there's ups and downs. So I will do a couple of more episodes tied to anxiety. And that's my goal, guys. I want to talk about the things that truly affect us as individuals, not just me saying, oh, life is great, everything changed, just think positive thoughts. Now, I want to give you the sense that you understand that I've gone through the shit show that you are going through right now. Okay, and this isn't a motivational speech. This is something that's etched in the stone of your mind. Okay, this is something that you can carry for the rest of your life. Just takes a little effort, guys. It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping for a second. I'm gonna say hit that like button. Because if you don't, it's just going to tell me, oh, go on about your life, Renee, and be happy. The hell with all these other people. And we go from there, right? The light's in all of us, guys. And your words are powerful. Remember that. Your words are powerful. Speak these things. Write these things down. Get them out and move forward. Don't be afraid of shit. All right? The scariest things are the thoughts that you create in your minds. Got it? Take it easy. Peace out.